Jennifer Lopez felt strong pull towards Keith Urban after split. Sourced in Hollywood, timing is everything. Sometimes it brings people together. Sometimes it pulls them apart. And sometimes, after a chapter closes, it creates an unexpected connection no one saw coming. According to sources, Jennifer Lopez reportedly felt a strong emotional pull toward Keith Urban following her recent split, a connection that insiders describe not as sudden romance, but as something quieter, more subtle, and deeply human. Tonight, we're unpacking what that pull really means, why Keith Urban entered the conversation at this moment in Jennifer's life, and how vulnerability, admiration, and shared experience can spark unexpected emotional gravity, especially after heartbreak. This isn't about confirmed romance. This is about connection, healing, and the spaces people drift toward when they're finding their footing again. Breakups, no matter how amicable, no matter how mature, leave an emotional echo. Sources close to Jennifer Lopez say that following her split, she entered a period of deep reflection. Not retreat, but recalibration. She stayed busy. She stayed professional. But emotionally, insiders say she was processing. After years of public relationships, Jennifer has learned that healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks quiet. Sometimes it looks like paying attention to what, or who, feels grounding. And it's in this space, sources say, that Keith Urban entered her emotional orbit. Keith Urban is known for many things. A respected musician. A grounded presence. A man widely regarded as emotionally intelligent and deeply introspective. But beyond his accolades, those in the industry describe Keith as someone who listens more than he speaks, who understands fame but isn't consumed by it. And according to sources, that energy mattered. Jennifer Lopez has lived most of her life under intense scrutiny. She's been surrounded by noise, expectations, opinions, projections. Keith Urban represents something different. Stability, emotional fluency, quiet confidence. Sources are careful with language here. They don't say romance. They don't say relationship. They say pull. And that distinction matters. A pull doesn't mean action. It doesn't mean intention. It means awareness. Insiders say Jennifer felt drawn to Keith's presence, his authenticity, and his emotional openness, particularly during a time when she was reassessing what she truly needs from connection. Sometimes after heartbreak, you don't crave fireworks. You crave peace. Jennifer Lopez and Keith Urban come from different musical worlds, but their lives share striking similarities. Both rose to fame young. Both endured intense public pressure. Both navigated personal struggles while remaining professionally disciplined. Sources say Jennifer admired how Keith balances success with humility, and how he speaks openly about growth, accountability, and emotional work. That kind of transparency resonates deeply with someone who has lived her life in headlines. This wasn't about chemistry. It was about recognition. Timing changes everything. Had this been years earlier, Jennifer might not have noticed the pull. Had it been during a different chapter, it might not have registered. But after a split, after dreams shift, expectations soften, and clarity sets in, people often become more sensitive to what feels right. Sources say Jennifer wasn't looking for love. She was looking for alignment. And sometimes alignment shows up as curiosity, comfort, or simply the feeling that someone gets it. It's important to be clear. Sources emphasize there was no inappropriate behavior, no betrayal, no secret relationship. Keith Urban remains married, and Jennifer is said to be deeply respectful of boundaries, hers and others. This is not a scandal story. It's a human one. A story about emotional gravity, not action. Those close to Jennifer describe her as emotionally open, deeply introspective, and always evolving. She doesn't shut down after heartbreak. She examines it. She asks hard questions. She looks inward. She learns. Sources say the pull toward Keith Urban wasn't about replacing anyone, but about noticing qualities she values more now than ever. Emotional maturity. Consistency. Inner calm. This story resonates because it's relatable. Who hasn't, after a breakup, felt drawn to someone unexpected? Not because you want something to happen, but because their presence reflects something you're missing. Safety. Understanding. Peace. That doesn't make you disloyal. It makes you human. In Hollywood, every interaction becomes a headline. But insiders caution against overinterpretation. This wasn't about starting something new. It was about recognizing emotional signals. And sometimes, noticing a pull helps you understand yourself better, even if nothing comes of it. Sources say Jennifer Lopez is focused on herself, her career, and her growth. She's not rushing. She's not rebounding. She's recalibrating. And part of that process includes noticing what kind of energy she gravitates toward now, not the kind she used to chase. That, insiders say, is the real story here. Jennifer Lopez feeling a pull toward Keith Urban isn't about romance headlines or speculation. It's about evolution. It's about a woman listening to her emotional compass after heartbreak. And sometimes, those quiet internal shifts are more revealing than any red carpet debut. Because growth doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, it just feels like a pull.